Do you still collect Star Wars?
Of course.
Yeah. Is that still ongoing?
Yeah, man, it's I love it and I can't like, I can't get away from it. I'm
Hmm.
selling some of the collection off, like just starting to sell some stuff on eBay. And I hope to continue to sell stuff because I do have way too much stuff and I have a lot of stuff that is just like I don't I don't even really want, like it's just taking up space and
Hmm.
but I do love it, man. I
Are,
love
are you making
my
room for something
I don't
special?
they what?
Are you making room for something special or some more stuff? Or
No, not really. I mean, I don't have any room at all.
yeah.
So it's kind of it's down to like really small pieces. And I kind of made a rule where like if I can't display it, I don't buy it anymore. Like I don't
Hmm.
buy stuff to store away anymore because I don't have any more room. Um, so that's you know, kind of kept me in check a little bit, but it's still a problem. It's still, you know, I'm spending money
Yeah,
and
I
also
know. I've got a
time but
similar
I do
problem.
love it, man. It really does bring, it brings stress to my life, but also it brings a lot of joy. And
Yeah.
for some reason I love all this plastic crap around me.
I'm in a similar position. Um,
Yeah.
yeah. Just collecting from. I used to be a big wrestling guy,
Hmm.
and I recently got back into. I don't watch wrestling anymore, but collecting the figures.
Yeah.
Um, Now not modern day, like 15, 16 years ago.
Yeah.
Um, and like rebuying old figures
Uh,
and stuff, and I've got no idea why this has happened, but now I've gone down that wormhole.
yeah, it's a weird thing, man. And
Yeah.
it's mostly men too.
Mhm.
Like I mean there are women, women collectors of course, but it definitely is more of like a male kind of thing of just like, because I've tried to, I constantly analyze like, what am I, why do I do this?
Mhm.
Uh, but I don't know what it is, man. It's like there's something about it's about the, about getting it, about the hunt. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
kind of thick.
Yeah.
It's definitely, I mean, it's definitely a sickness. It's definitely a psychological
Yeah. It is. It's like
disorder.
because some people ask me like, "What? I don't get it," and I'm like, it's kind of an addiction in a way. I
Oh
mean,
yeah, no, it's totally an addiction, man. Like
it's
even
definitely an addiction.
like for me, it's like when I have if I feel bad, like I go and see, buy a little Star Wars thing or something. It's just like it's like therapy,
Mhm. Yeah.
um,
100%.
and it's
Are you a guy who opens his collection?
yes, there. I mean, there's some stuff obviously you can't open, but yeah, most of the stuff I open, like that's kind of my rule is like I'm not buying anything these days that I can't open.
Yeah, I'm trying to I guess break the seal with that. I have like an entire room of horror movie memorabilia
Hmm.
and a lot of figures and stuff that probably aren't really worth that much money and are never going to be, but I have this thing where I've never opened them, and
Yeah.
now
I
I'm
mean,
trying to just
I think you have to be smart because there's some like I'm really into pops, the
uh-huh.
Funko Pops right
Yeah, me
now.
too.
So I'm like trying to get all of them, and I know that there's some that are, I mean, because there's some that are like thousands of dollars, and I'm like, I'm not gonna pay $1,000 for a fucking Funko Pop, at least not right
Yeah.
now. But the Star Wars ones, there's like almost 400 now, I guess,
Mhm.
and I have most of them, but you know, some of them like I just picked one up that was like $120, which is like the most expensive, and it was Canadian money, so I actually got a really good deal on it. But that one I was like, I'm not going to open this one. I'm just going to display it in the box. But most of all my stuff is out of the box, because I don't know, man. It just first of all, the boxes take up so much more room, and then secondly, I don't know, man. It just feels like I don't know. It feels a little less geeky when you take it out of the box.
Yeah.
And you're
Yeah.
right. There's some stuff that like is not going to be worth anything whether I keep the box or not. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Um, so
I actually
it,
somebody reached out to me during the week. I don't know if you have access to your email right now.
yeah, I do.
I'm just gonna send you this photograph that somebody sent me. Um, I don't know if you remember that. Um, it's basically somebody reached out to me that had, I think he painted it, a piece of Star Wars art from a couple of years ago. Let me see if I can shoot this over to you.
Let me see. It hasn't come in yet. Um,
If it comes in, let me know. But yeah, just on the topic of pops, maybe we can. There's a way we can figure it out or whatever. But I have in mind now a really cool exclusive, a European exclusive Star Wars pop. That if we can figure it out, maybe I can send it to you or send it somewhere that you can pick it up.
oh yeah, man.
But yeah, collecting is a weird thing, and I kind of wanted to just get on the topic of it, just because I know that you have a quite a huge collection. Do you have any Blair Witch stuff, or did you ever collect any of that stuff, or is that just something that you're not really?
No, I mean, I have some of the stuff. Like you know, I haven't bought stuff. I haven't bought anything Blair Witch in a long time. But when the movie came out, like um, people would send me stuff, and mostly it's magazines and kind of one of a kind stuff that people sent me. Um, but I bought the only thing that I bought that I really that I are kind of collectible are the I bought some of the original artwork from the comic book
Oh yeah, yeah.
from the first comic book. I
I
bought
actually
like
have that sitting in
one
front of me right now.
panel from each of the stories. Um, and so I have them framed and they're up in my screening room. Um, so yeah, and I have like some Blair Witch posters from France and Spain, and you know um, I have a couple of fan made items that people have made for me. I have those things up, but yeah, mostly it's just stuff that personalized stuff that people send me.
Yeah, that was something that somebody asked me to ask you. Did you have any crazy Blair Witch or any other of your movie, like crazy props
the
or?
the best Blair Witch thing, and kind of that I had, like, one of the best things is that this friend of mine, Chris Stavrakis, um, made me sculpted me this Yoda. He's a really good sculptor, but he sculpted me a Yoda holding a stick figure,
Oh,
and,
cool.
and kind of like
Nice.
like rubbing his chin, like kind of like this quizzical, like, what the hell is this?
Mm-hmm.
Um, I'll send you a picture of it, but
That's cool.
that's
That's
really
cool.
cool. I love when you know Blair Witch stuff kind of mixes in with uh, with Star Wars, especially. And then also I have some stuff that because every time, usually when I go do a show, somebody always tries to sneak in some kind of Blair Witch thing into the show. So I have like certain, mostly from Supernatural, um, where like they've kind of mixed Blair Witch words or the Blair Witch symbol, or just kind of into props and stuff, and then
That's
they've
cool.
given
I
me the
like that.
props after I'm done with it. Like, I have a big sign that says Rustin's, for Rustin Parr, which was a bar that they had in my first episode of Supernatural. And then I have I have a bottle of this. It's called Ellie's Brew, which is like Ellie
Mm-hmm.
Kedward's, like a beer that we also use on my first episode. Um, so it's fun to work with people like that who kind of want to put little Easter eggs and stuff into the episodes that I do. But that stuff I really love.
Yeah, yeah. The I had actually recently for the first time seen the. Have you ever seen the McFarlane toys, the Blair Witch ones? Was that
Yes.
something that, like, were you guys ever approached about that, or like, did you ever have a vision of if there was a witch, what she looked like, or any creatures and
Um,
stuff?
I mean, it wasn't. Uh, we I mean, we love. First of all, we love them. I mean, we were big Todd McFarlane fans, and I used to collect the Spawn figures because I love them so much. Um, so I was, well aware of McFarlane's stuff. So when Artisan said, "Oh, they're going to do a Blair Witch figure," and they ended up doing two, I mean, we were just really excited about it, man. And I think, like for me, you know, any kind of there's no like proper, you know, there's no proper vision of the Blair Witch. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like for me, you know, that's why I really liked the Blair Witch movie that came out in 2016. Like, I like the fact that they pushed the mythology and they showed a little bit some creature or whatever the hell it was. I don't even know. I don't even want to know what it is. You know what I mean? Like for me, so the Todd McFarlane things for me were like, oh my god, this is cool.
Yeah,
And then
they're
we're like,
something
what
I want to get
is
my
it, the
hands on.
Blair Witch? I'm like, yeah, this could totally be the Blair Witch. I mean, it's not the only way she appears, but could totally be the Blair Witch, of course.
Yeah, it's something I would like. I would love to get my hands on those. They're quite hard to come by, actually.
Oh,
Um,
are they? I didn't know that. Yeah,
yeah,
I
yeah.
have. I have the one. I don't have both of them, but I have one of them.
Um, just from your saying there about the 2016 movie, have you? I know you've done some stuff online with the game. Did you actually play the game or?
Yeah, yeah. I played. I mean, I played. I did some online. I played online in something last year. I don't know if you saw that, but it
The
was.
Watch Mojo, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I did that, and then um, I'm not like I used to like I play Minecraft because it's like kind of like a Lego set and it kind
Yeah,
of
yeah,
relaxes me.
yeah. It's good.
But I felt that the Blair Witch game was way too stressful for me.
I could see
Um,
that, yeah, and I like my games and stuff, and I love my Blair Witch, but I can see that it's and the fact that without spoiling it, there's multiple endings and stuff.
yeah, no, I mean, I think the game was awesome,
Oh,
and
it's amazing, but
yeah,
I
I
do
loved
see
it, man.
that
And
it is so
and
stressful.
there were so many times playing that game where I was like, yeah, like there's literally, you know, scenes in that game that like I've seen in my head already, like that were ideas that we had for other Blair Witch movies,
Hmm.
like for sure.
Hmm. And
Um, and I thought it was really well done. It was creepy, and I loved the story, and it had, it was ambiguous enough to kind of fit into the Blair Witch legend, but it kind of had enough story to keep you engaged. Um,
did
and it
you
was
guys
beautiful.
have
It was
any involvement?
beautiful, man. But it was just too stressful for me, man.
Yeah, I
Um,
could see that.
it's like it's not the way I want to spend my free time.
Hmm.
Um, it's a little. It's yeah. It was and maybe probably it was probably too good for its own good, at least with me.
Yeah, like I like those games, but yeah, I could even see that. There was a couple of times I hit pause in the middle of something.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
No,
tough.
yeah, it's it's way intense,
Hmm. Hmm.
and you
I'm
know,
surprised they didn't bring it to PlayStation VR. Actually, I seen a
you
lot
know,
of
man,
people talking about that.
I don't know what the plans are, like especially if they do a TV show, I'm sure they're going to do more games, or I'm not sure what they're going to do, but um, yeah, I mean, a Blair Witch VR game is kind of a no-brainer.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Did you Did you have any involvement in the game as regards
No,
ideas or
no,
anything? They never.
not at all. I mean,
No.
in the first three games that came out
Yeah,
in
yeah, yeah.
2000, we had not a lot of input, but they definitely ran a lot of stuff by us, and we kind of were kind of more involved. But this last game, nah, they just kind of we didn't even know that they were actually doing a game until much later in the process.
All right.